Good afternoon. Senator Blumenthal, Senator Takano, or Representative Takano, esteemed guests and colleagues, thank you all for being here today. I stand before you to address a deeply concerning proposal from the Trump administration, a rule that would ban nearly all abortions at the Department of Veterans Affairs facilities, even in cases of rape and incest, and prohibit VA providers from offering abortion counseling to our nation's veterans. This policy, if enacted, would strip critical health care access from millions of veterans and their families, particularly women who have served our country with courage and made sacrifices to do so. Over the past month, Common Defense's membership has mobilized in response. More than 200 of our veteran leaders have joined our webinars and organized against these public comments, to make public comments against this policy. And about 5,600 of our members have signed a petition voicing their opposition to this policy that the administration wants to enact. So let's be clear about what's at stake. 1 in 3 female veterans report experiencing sexual assault from their service. 1 in 3 face intimate partner violence, rates far higher than among civilian women. For these survivors, access to comprehensive reproductive care is not just a medical necessity, it's a matter of dignity and autonomy. Denying them this care is a betrayal of the promise that we make to those who defend our freedoms. This rule doesn't just take away the care, it forces veterans to leave the VA system that they rely on in their most vulnerable moments. It tells survivors of military sexual trauma that their government will abandon them when they need them the most. That is unacceptable. President Biden's 2022 policy allowed the VA to provide abortions in limited circumstances. It wasn't a blanket, it was very targeted. This ban takes away that choice entirely from 400,000 women veterans living in states where abortions have been already banned or severely restricted. President Biden's modest but vital policy offered a lifeline to veterans in states where reproductive care has been gutted post-Roe. The Trump administration's proposal to reverse this, claiming it's legally questionable or a matter of patient safety, ignores the reality that veterans rely on the VA as their primary and sometimes only health care provider. So let's be clear, this rule is not about safety, it's about control. It dismisses the expertise of doctors and healthcare providers and the lived experiences of veterans like Ash Wallace, who after surviving a life-threatening pregnancy complication was denied the reproductive care that she needed by the VA and forced to pay out of pocket to protect her own health. Stories like hers remind us that this policy will disproportionately harm the most vulnerable, those in states with abortion bans, those without the means to seek care elsewhere, and those already bearing the scars of trauma. We cannot ignore the broader context. The VA is already grappling with severe staffing shortages, including about 2,000 nurses, 800 doctors, and hundreds of other critical healthcare workers who have already been laid off or left under this administration. These cuts exacerbate the crisis, leaving veterans with fewer options and longer waits for care. Now, adding a blanket abortion ban risks turning VA hospitals into places where veterans' needs are sidelined in favor of ideological agendas. Today, I call on the Trump administration to withdraw this cruel and dangerous proposal and urge Congress to support legislation like that proposed by Representative Brownlee to codify veterans' rights to reproductive care and counseling through the VA. And I call on every American to stand with our veterans, men, women, trans, non-binary, who deserve health care that respects their services and their choices. There is still time to act. The deadline to submit public comments is midnight tonight. Every veteran, every family member, every American can make their voice heard. If you care about veterans' well-being, you should make your voice heard, because public comments matter. They create a record, they force accountability, and they stop harmful policies before they can take effect. Let's ensure the VA remains a place where veterans receive the care they've earned, not a testing ground for restrictive policies that could spread nationwide. Women veterans are the fastest growing part of our community, but the responsibility to speak out cannot fall on them alone. Every veteran has a responsibility to defend access to needed care. Standing silent while our sisters in arms lose their rights is not an option. We serve together, we stand together. Thank you.